Yep. That's yep. Safety.
Safety.
I'm safe now.
It's never been a bad idea to call for safety.
Yeah,
No.
why not?
It's always
there
fun.
were multiple good ones.
It's
in
fun
there.
every time.
It's fun every time.
It's always fun to call
It's
for
fun
safety.
every time.
All right.
Intro baby.
Intro baby.
I'm the intro baby. Gotta love me.
Not to get all Nick Fury on you guys, but there was an idea.
Yeah.
What was
Yep.
it?
I mean, we had
the
a
idea
couple,
of
but
who's on first was
we sort of like
yeah,
the
right, yeah.
one kind of like
Yeah.
trying to think of this movie that had Jet Li in it.
Yeah.
Or we could do
I'm trying to think of this movie. It's the one where that was one version, or it was like, hey,
or we could say facts that are true about everything
everything everywhere at once, but it was also the one,
and be like, oh yeah, I know the one.
Yeah, I kind of like
that's
that.
a fun
Yeah, I
thing to say over and over.
Yeah, especially
joke.
with like us putting this down now before Oscar
Yep.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
think
feels
that's-
like if we're threading the needle of somebody listening to our feed and not checking the episode names, we could get them.
Yeah.
It's a thin. That's like it's a Venn diagram that's very small, but it's possible.
Yes.
Okay,
What do you got for facts?
I can do the facts if someone wants to do the I know the one,
I'll do that. I'd love to say, oh, I know the one,
and then we'll figure out an ending,
and then we'll
to
see
this
what
bit,
happens.
I guess
Because we never script the way it ends.
It
There's always a
falls
fucking
apart. There's always some
Wendy's
kind
or
of
something.
Wendy's. I was just gonna say there's always a
something.
Wendy's.
Yeah. No, we'll feel it out.
Vaughn, did you want?
We'll play in the space.
Do you want to jump in on
Do you
this
have
at
a
all?
fact?
We'll see what happens.
If you think of one, a fact that would be true about both of the movies, be like, oh, no, it's the one that this. Like, feel free to jump in with that.
Okay.
Because that feels like an easy way to just have all of us say stuff.
Guys, I'm having the hardest time trying to remember the name of this movie right now. It's it's like a multiverse martial arts movie.
Oh, yeah, no, I know the one.
Okay. Are you thinking of the one that has the lead actor, I believe, is Chinese, and they are playing multiple versions of themselves?
Yeah, I know
and
the
they
one.
have like different
Yeah.
hairstyles and stuff.
I know the one. Yeah, I know the one.
No. But like, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page because we could be talking about a different movie.
Okay.
Does it feature prominently an item that very well could be, but technically isn't a butt plug?
Yeah, I know the one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which one is it?
Yeah, it's the one.
What is it called?
The one. I know the one. It's the one.
Running faucets, killer outfit. It's futuristic, like Carnegie the Magnificent. Rewind your VCR, rewind your cassette. Nintendo pilots, flying up ahead. Captain's log, John Luke Bogard. Polarized sea of light, the weapon covered shine. Out on your street tonight. Don't matter how loud you gotta shout it. Out on your street tonight.
The Stygian Penal Colony in the Hades universe.
That is remarkably good. I expected her to butcher at least one of those words, and she nailed it.
Yeah, she sure did.
That was
So this recording is going to have that and then immediate.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Is there any other biz
How do
we need to take
how
care
do
of?
we do this?
Oh, we just don't. That's the key.
Oh yeah, sweet. Let's watch the other two.
Let's.
No, not that. Don't.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Not that. Don't.
Welcome back to Not That Don't.
Oh no!
An indescribable game show about something we don't understand.
Not that. Don't.
Not that. Don't.
Indescribable.
Wait. Not that. Don't.
Wait,
Not
not that,
that
don't.
don't.
Of the don'ts, it's
Yeah.
not that one.
Yeah.
It's not that don't.
Not that. Don't.
Not that don't. So what would the game not that don't be?
See, I think this is important. So, not that don't is you're supposed to. Here's my first pitch.
Take it.
It could be many things.
Okay.
But my first pitch is that it is a game show where you're supposed to be learning how to parent. And like there's a little kid running around doing stuff like touching things mostly, which is mostly what kids do. They just like kind of put their hands on
they're touching
objects.
machines.
Yeah. Sticky touching machines. And they run around and they stick and they touch. And you have to say don't at the right time. But if you say it at the wrong time, all the audience is like, not that don't.
Yeah.
Or if you say it in the wrong tone of voice.
Yeah, I was going to say, or is it
match
like
the tone of voice to the activity?
you get like parenting experts to be like, you tell a child how not to do something, and they're like, not that don't.
Not that don't.
Here's how you should do it.
I like what Bond just maybe have an even better idea.
Okay.
He said tone of voice to the activity because there are a lot of ways to say don't, and some of them mean do. And so depending on what you see in front of you, you'd be like, don't. But you shouldn't say that don't when you're telling a kid to not touch a fire.
Not that don't. A problematic fave.
That don't. Yeah. Horribly problematic fave. Indescribable game show.
Coming to Peacock.
Welcome to Contextual Deviance. My name is Christian Hagen. Each episode, we watch a movie, and then we talk about it through a series of randomly generated critical contexts provided to us via our contextual computer. We always talk about a movie in a way that no one else has ever talked about that movie, guaranteed. And that'll be extra easy today because as far as I know, no one remembers that this movie exists and no one ever talks about it. So we are going to be breaking ground pretty much no matter what. The movie in question today will be introduced after I introduce my dearest friends and co-host hosts. My dearest friends and co-host hosts, Misters Matthew Bond.
Hello.
And David Gutchie.
I'm the one with the soap stuff that happened to me.
Yeah.
You're the one?
You're the one?
Yeah.
Wait.
The one with the soap
You're
stuff
the
that
one?
happened to
You're
me.
the one?
Yeah. Why are you saying it like that?
You killed 124
That's weird.
Davids?
Maybe. I'm not ready to admit that on air, but sure.
As you may have deduced from all of our rambling, and you probably haven't, because who would have remembered that this is what we're talking about?
Or if you look at the title of the episode.
Okay, all right. But
who does that these days?
Yeah,
Am I right?
I just kind of close my eyes and tap.
I just want to point out.
Throw a dart
that
at my phone.
I said perhaps you've deduced from our conversation, meaning if you hadn't seen the title, you might have understood this.
You might have.
It's a separate thing.
Yeah, it's a
But
separate
yes,
thing.
also they probably saw the episode title and saw that we're talking about the 2001 sci-fi action thriller Jet Li's The One. The original multiverse of madness, wherein Jet Li plays multiple roles as a man who is traversing multiple universes in order to kill various versions of himself until he becomes the last one standing, a la the titular The One, who will possess godlike strength and be, I don't know, special.
Very cool.
Really cool and special.
Yeah, let all them bodies hit the floor.
Yes, a film with a soundtrack that has definitely stood the test of time.
I would say so.
Also starring Jason Statham, Delroy Lindo, and Carla Gugino, among others whose names I can't think of. Also Dean
Norris.
Dean Norris. Why am I having such a hard time?
The
remembering
angry
his
little guy from Breaking Bad.
name? The angry little
Hank.
guy.
Hank. Thank
Give him some respect.
you. Please say his dumb name.
Say his name. It's goddamn right.
Say his dumb name.
Say,
Somehow I don't think that campaign's taking off.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What you're saying is it's a star-studded movie.
it's a star-studded film.
honestly, yeah, everybody in it actually, like, I enjoy in some way or another.
Yeah, no, and they're
an
all
interesting
doing
point, yeah.
something. They're
Yeah.
all doing something.
They're all out there, and I'm proud of every single one of them.
They're all sure in a movie together.
They sure are in this movie together. That is undeniable. Oh man, there's so much we could say about this movie, and we're going to.
That's right.
But we aren't gonna start the way we would usually start. Like if you're talking to your friends and you're like, "I saw this movie," and you'd probably be like, "Here's what I think about it."
Yeah.
We're not doing
That's
that.
what I would do.
No.
We're not doing that. We can't do that.
Why the fuck not?
We have to let the computer tell us what to
yeah,
say.
you're right.
Not to what to say.
No,
What to talk
say?
about.
I'm reading off a computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right now.
Oh.
How did it know?
How,
This is pretty wild.
How does it know?
Oh, this is pretty cool.
It's an AI
It's
generated.
like David Blaine shit right here.
All right. Let's do context number 1.
Who is the Zodiac Killer?
Who in this movie is the Zodiac Killer? Now.
I have an immediate one. But
Now.
Yeah.
We all have an immediate one. And I'd like us,
Everybody's got an immediate
I'd like us to dig a little deeper.
Can I hold on? No.
I want to hear both of yours on 3. 'cause I don't think I have an
how do you know I'm
immediate
not
one.
digging deeper?
Okay, you know what? I just
What's your
You okay? Wait, everybody,
wait.
hands in the middle,
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh style. You have to promise.
I can't remember what this character's
You're
name
gonna
is.
actually say the one you met.
I don't know the
Gonna
character. I
dig
don't think the
deeper.
character has a name.
Well, as long as you both kind of describe the same guy.
Yeah.
All right, I assumed.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
The
Evil
MRI
Jet Li.
doctor that tried to inject him.
Oh,
that's
see?
actually
Okay.
the best answer.
Oh.
Nah.
Yes, that's really good.
Yeah.
David, do you have one?
No, I was gonna say the mouse that had the needle hanging out of its butt.
I also love that.
Just because that's my favorite character in the movie.
Because obviously the Evil Jet Li in this character is literally a serial killer.
Yeah.
In that he has killed 123 people.
That's a good point.
Minimum. He's killed more. That's the thing.
Oh, he's actually killed
He
a lot of
He
people.
killed
a lot
himself
of other
123 times.
Yeah.
But more people in the process.
Yeah, they never actually count
Like,
up how many
lot more.
cops
Yeah.
he shot
Yeah.
in the very opening scene where he shoots himself. They just count the other versions of himself.'re like, you're up for
weird.
123 counts of murder, but not
really
all of the
weird.
many other murders
wait.
he committed.
I have it to come to the defense of the one starring Jet Li.
Sure.
Jet Li's the one, if you will.
Yes. Mhm.
He was on trial by the multiverse cops. And
Right.
they only care about
Multiverse
weird
crime.
multiverse crime. They don't care about normal ass murder.
Okay.
They only care about when you go somewhere else and you kill yourself. That's what they're putting him on trial for. It's like they don't care about his like he stole from a store or whatever. It doesn't matter. They only care about Jet Li on Jet Li crime.
That's true, because at the end, they're like, hey, this guy's going to be sent back and put to prison for life, even though he's innocent. Oh, we don't care.
Yeah. They don't care. That's not their jurisdiction. They
Yeah.
only care if it's multiverse shit.
They're very punitive. They're very punitive in the Multiverse Authority.
Yeah, very, very Judge Dreddy.
And they have a
Very
great
judgmental.
prison at the
The
where was it
Stygian
again?
Penal Colony in the Hades universe.
Oh yeah, the Stygian Penal Colony.
yeah,
in
the
Hades
stingy
universe.
the Stingy Dick Colony in hell.
Satan.
Exactly.
In Satan.
The Stingy Dick Colony.
Satan's Stingy Dick Colony. Welcome aboard.
cowpokes, to Satan's Stingy Dick.
Welcome to Satan's Stingy Dick Colony. You're gonna save all sorts of money at our store.
Oh man,
Anyway.
is the theme park context wide open?
I think so.
Okay, well that's it.
I think it is.
we already have the answer for that one.
Satan's Dick?
Hey, Satan's Dick? Yeah,
The Satan's Discount Dick Store.
based on the movie The One.
The Devil's Discount Dicks. But to the point, who is the Zodiac Killer in this movie? Jet Li is a serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah, he's easy.
But what I would say is the Zodiac Killer is someone who's sneaking under the radar. Who's killing people, but like not being showy about it. And that's why I personally think that, Bon, your answer is the best possible.
That doctor was ready to go.
It's a really good one.
If you didn't hear when we talked over each other, listeners, Bon, what was yours again?
It was the MRI technician that was trying to sedate Jet Li in the hallway when they were
Very
like
ready.
standing up. Yeah,
Oh, you were going for that one.
yeah.
Oh, I was going for the lady who.
Oh, the
kept,
lady
like,
who was just mean.
who was just really mean to him for no reason. Who,
Oh,
like,
also a good
he
answer.
hugs his wife and she's like, ugh. I'm like,
True, she does hate
clearly
humans.
She does hate
that
love.
was pretty wild.
Yeah,
actually.
it is
Like,
crazy that like she never shows up again.
Could you please not have a moment? He's probably not going to die, so stop loving each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't hug.
The
Ugh.
only time for hugs is if you're about to die.
Yeah.
That's her life philosophy.
Then
That's
and
some
she
Zodiac
knows
Killer
that. She
shit for
practices that because she hugs all of her victims.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
sure. Yeah, the Zodiac Killer, classic hugger.
So this hospital has two solid Zodiac.
Yeah. So
candidates.
she's Zodiac Killer. He's more Bay Harbor Butcher.
Yeah.
Maybe he's been hunting her all along. he just doesn't know.
He's dextering the whole thing. Yeah.
He's dextering. He doesn't realize it's from within the same hospital.
Oh my God, that's quite the drama.
Yeah.
How exciting!
I want to watch that movie.
Yeah, it's Scrubs. It's in that hospital.
It's in the Scrubs hospital that no longer
It's
exists.
in the Scrubs subtext for sure.
They're just like on the
Scrub
floor
text.
below JD and those guys where they're actually doing their thing up there.
I
above.
always felt like something weird was going on. One floor below Scrubs.
Listeners, this film was made in the same hospital that they made Scrubs.
True.
Probably not at the same time, but those did
definitely
overlap.
same years, but yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been like during the off season when they
Yeah, probably.
were on hiatus. hiatus.
Not that they had to change it much. It just looks like a hospital.
Yeah, yeah.
True. That's a good point. So all doctors are the Zodiac killer.
Yeah, I think that's where we came out.
In this movie, well, except isn't Carla Gugino?
She's a vet.
She's a vet.
Yeah, she's a vet, and she takes care of animals. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, that's true. She's the anti-Zodiac killer because the Zodiac killer would probably just kill animals, right?
You're probably right.
I'm sorry. I
just get it?
it just caught up to me what you said. I'm so sorry that I didn't give it the proper line.
It's fine. It's more fun in hindsight, really. It's one of those that you look back in the mirror and you go, "Oh, hey, that was nice."
It caught up to me. I was on a jog and it like zoomed past me and then it like stopped and looked at me like, huh?
A lot like a Zodiac killer in a truck.
And then I caught up to it. I was like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's a true point though. I don't think she could be the Zodiac killer. There's no Zodiac in her.
Yeah.
No.
She's a vet.
Because she's a vet. She likes animals.
Yeah, she likes
Animals,
them.
yeah.
She's got that dog named
likes
Ollie.
them. Oh god.
That
Honestly,
random cat that I don't think.
It got away.
Yeah, but I also don't think they named the cat, so it's just a stray.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Their
just-
garage.
Yeah.
All right.
It was Plot Cat.
It happened.
Yeah, it's Plot Cat.
Classic plot cat.
It was just like, what's here? Oh, it's a cat. Okay,
That's
well,
what-
that was this scene.
That cat had so much plot armor.
That's when they say in screenwriting when they say save the cat, they
Yeah.
mean save it until you need it for the plot.
Save it for a cool moment when
Save
a cat
the
can
cat for
jump
later.
out from behind some boxes and
It's advice to the screenwriter.
Save the cat.
Like hold back on the cat until
Yeah.
you really need it.
It's one of those things where if they would have just like blown on the story manual a little bit, they would just have save the cat for later after.
How to eat
yes.
40 how to cook 40 humans.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's still one of my favorite Simpsons movies.
Yeah.
It's truly legendary.
So yeah, okay, so we've got the nurse who jumps out and tries to sedate him.
Yeah, pretty good.
Killers notoriously so we established that it's very unlikely that she's a serial killer because she loves animals.
Right.
Takes care of them.
Yeah.
Jason Statham kicks a dog in the face. I think he's
True.
I think he's a serial
Yeah,
killer.
I see. That was the one that like when
He
you
wasn't the
said
one.
there's an obvious
wasn't
one.
the
No,
one.
he wasn't the one. I'm sorry. That's
Yeah.
not the one.
No.
He is a. I have to not say the word one.
We are going to be doing that this whole time.
He is a
How did this movie-
possibility.
How did this movie not end with "You're still the one"?
Ooh.
Still the one I run to.
Honestly, that zoom out of the prison fight from the Stygian penal colony in the Hades universe.
In the Hades universe.
When it was zooming out, if that song had been playing, that would have been really cool.
We're still having fun.
I would have legitimately said, "Oh, you know what? I'm coming around
that
on this
version of
movie."
that
Still
one.
the one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
honestly,
why not
would've
both?
liked it.
Honestly, why not play them both over each other simultaneously?
No.
Make them fight and make all be one.
The songs fight until one lives, and then it's the truth.
Pretty good movie, actually. I think that's something that you need to
Like,
create.
make music fight. What
You're
is-
the one.
Make music fight. What is this? Multiverse of madness?
You're the one. Okay, sorry.
No, do not be.
So yeah, Jason Statham would be an option because he does kick that
I
dog.
think he's a good option too because we see his appetite.
Yeah,
Like he wants to kill. That's
Yeah.
kind of his whole deal.
that's true.
Even when he was like about to say, "Hey, I'm here to help you," he was pointing a gun at a man's back.
Pointing a gun at a man's back. Yeah.
He wants he's
He wants
tasted
it.
blood before.
Yeah.
The only thing that I don't think he has the like cerebral ability to be the Zodiac.
Oh, you think he's a big old dum dum?
Yeah, I think
He does seem like a bit of a big old dumb.
He's
He does
at
seem like
least
a big old
little
dum-dum.
old dum dum.
Little
Like
old
in your
dum-dum.
pocket from the bank when
Yeah.
you were a kid and it's still in those pants because you haven't worn them in like 10 years.
Totally.
Oh,
The Suckeradumdum.
a dum dum.
Yeah.
I forgot that
The
was
Suckeradumdum.
The Suckeradumdum. Ah, the holy text, the Suckeradumdum.
That reminds me of the Suckeradumdum paradox.
It's like a book in like an ancient library that has magic spells. Ah, the Suckeradumdum.
Okay, that needs to show up in our D&D.
Yes, I'm making a note of it. This. Oh fuck.
Yeah, I don't think he could be it. I don't think
No.
he's got the chops.
He's just an animal abuser.
Yeah, he's mean.
So yeah.
He's bad. He wants to kill.
Yeah.
But a serial killer that does not make.
And so to that end,
just a cop.
Yeah, just a cop.
He's just a
Exactly.
cop.
Which he
He's
is.
just a cop.
Yep.
So he's not a serial killer. He's just an ass.
He's just
Yeah.
an ass, which is
He's just a
fine.
murderous asshole.
It's actually,
Yeah,
that's
it's a cop.
You
He's
can
a
be
cop.
that.
Yeah.
But this context isn't who's a cop.
Who is a cop? Because there's a few answers to that. It seems like there's a lot of them in this movie. So to that end, that leaves us with these two hospital staff who seem very much like murderers.
Yeah.
So what is the case for the orderly who tries to sedate him in the hallway?
Well, I don't think they've built enough of a case on him yet. You know, he's still out there.
He's still
Is that the question?
I just mean like
No, he just seems like very dexterous. Just like he just seemed to be very ready at a moment's notice to sedate that dude.
It's
like
like when
he had
you
done
can
that
tell,
before.
like, oh, you've taken CPR training, like you've done this a lot. Like when someone just springs into action with muscle memory, and you're like, oh, you've stabbed people to sedate them before,
as an MRI technician,
which he probably has if he's working in a hospital. But like the way he did it was, it had some Zodi vibes.
Yeah,
for
I was
sure.
getting huge Zodi vibes.
Yeah.
But my question is, would the Zodiac Killer display those skills in front of a bunch of policemen? Or would he hang back and be like, I don't want to let them
and
know
like
what I'm
make
capable
fun of people when they're hugging.
And make fun of people when they're hugging.
Maybe a little
and then
more
like
like
wait
that.
until the dust settles
Yeah.
and then strike.
And then
Or
strike.
or in that moment look like a hero in front of a bunch of cops.
Ooh. But then you're drawing scrutiny on yourself. You have to
That's
talk
true.
to the cops at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, you
That's
don't want
true.
a spotlight at all, even if it's a good spotlight.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the Catholic Church sure doesn't want to spotlight. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway,
God. Well, this has been the two guys from the Muppets and me have a conversation.
well, just like real life until a couple of years ago, we may never know who the Zodiac Killer really was.
This content is
It's like real
better
life
every
until
year.
a couple years.
It's like, oh, we know though.
we know the answer. But in the meantime, let's move on to another context, huh?
I think so.
Yeah.
What if this was made 20 years earlier? Or, if applicable, 20 years later?
Oh.
What if this was made 20 years earlier or 20 years later? We
it came out-
usually, when we get this one, we can only go back 20 years.
Yeah.
But this case, we've actually, 20 years have elapsed since this movie came out,
Technically.
22. So we can actually say, what would it be like?
Yeah, what if this came out in 2021?
It might be a little bit like Everything Everywhere All at Once.
A little bit.
Like
I mean,
a little bit.
At
At least
yeah.
in its like attitude towards multiverses, it might not be so The Matrix.
Yeah.
And it might be more like, oh, this is fun. We've got a lot of multiverse movies actually, so like it could be like a lot of them.
Probably be done by the stunt coordinator from John Wick.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, probably much better stunt
Yeah,
coordination.
I would
they'd probably be
hope
better
so.
in a lot of ways.
They probably run in a lot of ways. But in a lot of ways. But so okay, so let's talk about like multiverse movies that have come out since the one, because the one like it feels like a kind of. I mean, obviously, there have to have been movies that dealt with like a multiverse kind of thing before, but just the way that this one. The way that the one handles the multiverse and the way it does the action of the multiverse pairs so interestingly with more modern takes on the multiverse and action movies. Like we've already referenced Everything Everywhere All at Once a few times, but also Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. You know, there's sort of this like cross universal idea that has come up more often. Space Jam 2. That's not really what that is. But I mean,
Does that count as a multiverse movie?
no, I don't think it does.
I haven't seen
I think
it.
it's one shared universe. Like,
That's true.
gigantic shared
okay.
universe. But like, I feel like there's other examples,
I bet there are.
and I'm spacing on any of them.
I am too, because I know that there were more things, even just this last year, besides just Everything Everywhere and Multiverse of Madness.
yeah.
When did The Sixth Day come out?
The Sixth Day would have been like 2002,
Okay, so
2003.
shortly after this.
Is that
Yeah.
the Schwarzenegger?
Isn't that the one
Yeah.
with Schwarzenegger?
Schwarzenegger.
But that might have been Clones.
That was
I don't-
Clones. That
was
wasn't
not
Multiverse,
multiverses,
yeah.
which is similar but different. I mean, for all intents and purposes, the one could have just been about clones. Like, it didn't have to be multiverses. It really didn't deal with a lot of the serious philosophical ramifications of multiverses beyond if you kill one of the other ones, you get their power, which is, I will say, a very unserious way to deal with them.
Well, it's also an interesting take, as we pointed out while we were watching it, because look at like Loki, for example. Like Marvel's already done the multiverse thing, and now they're delving into it even more with the upcoming like the Ant-Man and the Wasp new movie, things like that. And Everything Everywhere All at Once, and other examples from fiction and comics and games and stuff. BioShock Infinite and
Yeah.
you know,
That's a great
Injustice. This movie takes the multiverse but narrows its focus. It is not an infinite multiverse.
Mm-hmm. That is kind of cool.
There's not an infinite variety. There are specifically 125 multiverses.
Right now.
Although, yeah, because they say like every time there's a black hole, like a new multiverse or a new universe is created. So like more can come, but at that moment, there's only 125.
Yeah, that's actually a good
And
point
one
because
was happening in this movie. Like that was every time they had a chance to blast, that was when a new black hole was opening.
Oh yeah.
So it was like maybe one a day.
So he probably has another him he'd have to kill.
It's
Yeah.
kind of an ongoing deal. Yeah.
Wow, that's some. If they got into that, that'd be some interesting like existential shit. But they don't. So
They sure don't.
But you're right that even in that, even if it was 1 an hour, it's still limited.
Yeah.
It's still not infinite multiverses, which is a very different and more comprehensible to me idea.
But like, is that something that would have shifted over time? Because, you know, like obviously, I mean, parallel universes like the evil universe versions like Star Trek, you know,
that's classic.
that stuff's been around forever.
Yeah.
But, you know, this delving into sort of a multiverse idea has gotten to the point where it's like anything's possible. Literally anything.
Yeah, that's a
And
yeah, the old Kevin Garnett rule.
anything is possible. Which is, I believe, how he pronounced it.
I think so.
So do we think this would have buckled to that trend, or would it be, is this sort of like is it sort of like a subversion if they do it the way that it is? Like
I see what you mean.
of the trope.
Yeah. Because I think you're definitely right that the attitude towards it is like, I think a really good way of saying it is the difference between infinite multiverse and parallel universes. Because we were more interested in the 2000s in parallel universes, in like one or two other ones splintered and oh no, what do we do? As opposed to, oh, there have always been a fractal and it's just forever and you can't imagine it, and that makes it fun. It's like total fantasy, but it's so limitless that it can get out of hand.
Yeah.
And so there's an appeal to like the fracture version. So,
Right.
you know, I think it could be made like this now.
Because this movie is not dealing with like hot dog fingers or
That was
paint,
a real blind spot, I would say.
or
Yeah.
paint splash universes.
Yeah, right.
Or like, you know,
It
things
didn't
like that.
even get-
Everybody was pretty much just the same, except maybe had different types of tech.
and different hair colors.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
cuts
it
and-
really was pretty.
that-
Humanity's basically the same in all the multiverses, except some of them have more advanced technology.
And in some of them, Jet Li has dreadlocks.
Which
Yeah.
I want to see. Well, okay, that brings me to a point that I think it would be impossible to make this movie with this tone today, which I think is kind of an easy one. Like,
Yeah.
If I went to a theater and saw this movie with this tone, I would be like, this feels
can't remember
wrong.
the
This is
last
like
time
there's
a movie
like
like
at
this
least
came out.
too
Read the
many
room.
Papa Roach songs in this movie.
Well, that too. Music would obviously be different.
Yeah.
But I think we get a little sneak peek into what it would be like in 2021. That's when it would have been made. When we see the number 117 dreadlock Jet Li, number 118 weird like mafia Jet Li. Like we get this like weird
Blonde
sort
Jet
of
Li.
like Street Fighter lineup of Jet Lis that we don't get a taste of. The idea that he has fought those people and killed them. That's colorful. And this movie is not colorful. It is boring looking. It really didn't look
Blue.
like-
It's blue looking.
Blue
Very
and
blue.
black, and then there's sparks at the end.
Yeah.
But I think if we made it now, cinema has changed so much, and like action movies have changed so much that it would be very colorful. And I think we would see like Act 1 would be like a couple fun assassinations where he goes to like hot dog world and whatever, because we can do that stuff now, and audiences like that stuff now. So I think that would be a temptation.
I do have a thought in terms of action movies, because you bring up the differences between action movies then and now, and I think that's incredibly true. I think, honestly, these days, if they're going to be doing an action movie, there's such a huge influence of superheroes
Yeah.
that even movies that aren't superhero related are basically superhero. Like John Wick is basically a superhero. Like
John Wick's a good example too of what this movie would probably feel like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the idea of like they have to have this sort of heroic, this sort of monolithic figure that you're like, how can anyone defeat this impossible to defeat, but also somehow very much just a dude character.
Yeah,
but in
and
this
franchisable.
case, franchisable, yes. And in this case, he actually is dealing with superpowers. He is dealing with getting like super fast and super strong and all that stuff. So they would almost have to make it kind of like a superhero movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So maybe it would be more about like the pursuit of the power of being the one, and maybe less of a maybe it's the sort of shitty moral question of is it okay if the right person has it? Like the ending would be that the good Jet Li gets to be the one,
and
kind of
that
thing.
somehow makes us feel okay.
Yeah.
Whereas if the bad Jet Li had that power, it would be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If somebody got absolute power, is that what we're saying?
Oh,
Yep.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that
Yeah,
does?
I would say so.
You guys know what that does?
What does it do?
Well, you know.
What it do?
What that power do?
Oh, it absolutely corrupts.
Oh my!
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
So, have you?
Have you?
Yeah. Oh jeez, I've never felt so called out in
Just
my
get so
life.
fucking grilled.
Oh shit. Have I don't even know.
So I mean that's just a thought. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thought.
Do you think they would have given the character... I don't mean to slam Jet Li, but he is not an actor that I would think of as a man with range.
True.
And do you think that they would go for like somebody who would play like the parts a little bit differently?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I think
100%.
audiences would want some. I don't know. I think like
Maybe, but as we say that, there are action stars.
there are
in-
bad movies made today. That's true.
But no, but like I'm saying, like there can be good movies with action stars who have no range, and I'm
Yeah, like John
specifically-
Wick. But
I'm also thinking of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Is just incredibly.
but she's not playing against herself. I'm just saying like in a
Right.
movie where there's multiple.
Oh,
versions
I
of a
see what you're
person.
saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
That's
You
what I'm
want-
talking about.
You want
Different
them to
performances
be able
between
to
the different
be
Jet
a-
Lis. I thought you
Yeah,
meant
yeah.
like
If
him
it was just
having
one person, that
individual
doesn't matter. They can
You're
say
right.
flat. But
Yeah.
like if it's multiple people,
You're right. That would be a good-
actor that could like
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, even if it's like really broad.
Yeah.
Like there's like the normal ones and then the other ones are just like caricatures.
Yeah.
But that's what we want.
Yeah.
That was the window into which we peeked when we saw all of the pictures of the other Jet Lis in the
Yes.
other universes. We went, oh, there's a whole wild amount of shit going on out there with Jet Li, but we only see the two that act basically exactly the same.
That's true.
Cool movie, very cool.
That's a very good point.
So I think no matter what, either Jet Li would pull a Michelle Yeoh because we think he doesn't have that range.
Right, 'cause he-
But does he?
Right?
Does he?
I don't.
Maybe in the 20 years from when he made the one the first time, and then in the multiverse where he gets to make it again in 2021.
Oh, shit, are they rebooting
he
the
learns
one?
from
Oh,
it.
no.
They're rebooting it. In this universe, it never happened. We glimpsed a different universe tonight.
honestly, the 20-year sequel to the one,
20-year sequel
it's
to the
due.
one.
We're due to it.
We're
for
due,
it.
baby. Let's
due.
go.
Yeah.
I think we should. I think the answer to this question
The
is
three of us.
what if it was made? It would be good, and we should make it.
It should
What
happen,
if
and it would be good.
There also probably wouldn't be as many anti-trans and gay jokes. All right, let's
Yeah.
move on to another context.
Put an anthropomorphic animal in this movie.
Ollie.
Ollie.
Oh, I would love to put an anthropomorphic animal in this movie. This is
The cat and Ollie.
this is a really hard one, actually,
Yeah.
because this is one of the most. It's weird to say this because we've done some pretty serious movies, but I think this is the most serious movie we've ever done in terms of there being no room for jokes.
Like it's the most self-serious.
I don't think there was a joke in this movie.
There
Well, there was like an
there were a
anti-trans
couple.
joke.
There were a couple,
There
but
was-
they were
there were
yeah.
bad
was
jokes.
that
There were bad
shitty
jokes.
joke by those two techs, and maybe one that was. I think there was one that was like Jet Li being afraid of being married to a man. I think that was maybe supposed to be a joke.
I think
or he
Jason
was just cutting
Statham
him
was
off.
saying some stuff
There were a couple like
under that accent he was trying to do.
that accent.
But it is tough to imagine the levity, the absolute joy that an anthropomorphic animal brings. So who?
Here's my idea, and I'm very excited about it.
Okay.
The Multiverse Authority has
Yes.
many universes to choose from, and maybe they have access to at least one
Yep.
universe where humans are not the dominant species on the planet,
Yep.
and instead the anthropomorphic species evolved from some other animal.
Absolutely.
And then they have to go and chase Jet Li into this other universe. And so they have to, like, not only can people not know they're from a multiverse, they also can't let them see them because they're, like, not normal humans.
They'll freak everyone out.
Exactly.
Is that why the mouse's balls were so big? Because it's an anthropomorphic mouse on a little mission?
It was a guy in a little suit.
Yeah.
It was like a shapeshifter, too. He's just very tiny.
Yeah.
tiny.
Oh,
And then
a
you get the
little
proportions
multiverse mouse cop.
Yeah.
Oh, but he was
little
like a mouse terrorist. He, like, blew them up.
That's true.
But maybe he worked for the multiverse because Jet Li's character used to be a cop too. Maybe he worked with him there.
That's
and
true.
then Jet Li convinced him to leave with him and like
Okay.
Gave his life to save his old partner.
yes.
So, hold on. So, just to
David, what's hard to understand?
Yeah, I don't get what you're not grasping.
No. I'm tracking 100% of it, but the implications of it are scaring me. So,
The implication.
what you're saying is that it would be pretty cool if this movie, in the already incomprehensible scene of there's a guy about to die and go to the Stygian hell space with Satan's dick or whatever, and then there's a lady in a red dress and she comes up and
Purple
who's
dress.
this? And
It was
it's
purple.
like, and it's whatever.
sorry.
It was blue.
You got to get the details right.
it was blue, silver.
So
I don't know,
important.
whatever. And she has these big shoes, and then a door opens in the back of a shoe, and what comes out of there? An anthropomorphic mouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Who does not have any lines.
David, I'm not just saying that would be pretty cool. You
Not
said
a
we were saying that'd be
regular
pretty
mouse.
cool. It would
Just
be more than pretty
a
cool.
little guy-shaped mouse comes out and is like, hoo hoo hoo,
Yeah, a
time
little
for
Mickey.
bombs. And then we never revisit that again.
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yes. Like big
But
yes.
genuinely, what happened?
Big yes to that.
What-
Especially if the movie stays as like straight
Everything else
and
is the same.
serious and Papa Roach the rest of the time. Please.
I just had an idea. Papa Roach?
I did too.
Oh,
What if
no.
there was a guy
That's not
named
what
Papa
that-
Roach and he was a roach and he was like,
Hey, it's me, cut my life into pieces. I'm Papa Roach.
Come on, man. It's my last resort.
Come on, I'm
Hey,
trying.
guys,
Come on, come
my last
inside. I'm
resort.
trying to start a lot of beach houses, and this is my final one. Come stay in my resort. It's my last
Fuck
one.
you.
You know too much.
It's too good. Fuck off.
Come into Papa Roach's last resort.
No, my idea was going to be that the little mouse is another universe version of Jet Li that Evil Carla Gugino has sort of strapped a bomb to and is forcing like in like a hostage situation to like go out and blow
that is
up.
cool.
And then she's helping him get stronger by killing one of him.
Exactly.
Oh my God. I love that.
Yeah.
Exacta Lee.
That's
good.
Exact Jet Li.
I like
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Exact Lee. If you say that really fast, someone might not notice.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Lee.
Exactly.
Oh, exactly.
I don't know if there's a way.
Exact Jet Lee. I'm gonna try it tomorrow.
I want you to so
I am
desperately.
absolutely
You have to
gonna
let
try
us know.
that
how
Yeah,
that
you need to
goes.
report back.
Yeah.
You got it.
We'll put it on Twitter.
Thanks. So I like that, but I actually want to take it into not just like, oh, there's one of them that's one of the agents.
Mhm.
I think it would be fun if for the first 10 minutes of this movie, maybe 15, we kind of don't see the pullback of, oh, there's a multiverse. And then when we get that pullback, I think it would be cool if like all of the beings weren't just regular ass humans, because that's boring. And like one of the heads, maybe the head of the multiverse cops is just like a cat. But anthropomorphic cat, or like full Star Trek alien. Like it's 2001. It's not gonna look great. It's gonna be some makeup. It's a roach, it's Papa Roach. What I'm saying is Papa Roach should have been in charge of the multiverse cops.
Question: have you ever seen Danger 5?
I have.
Oh, yes, I
the,
have.
The man with the
Yeah.
eagle head, like that. It could be that
exactly.
kind of thing, but
just
like
a guy
cat.
with an eagle head. That sounds great. That sounds great. Or actually, you know why I think that's a good idea? Because I don't know if any of the listeners played the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, but there's a head of security at one of the places that is a dog
Right.
that talks. His name's Cosmo. He rules.
Oh, Cosmo's in the game?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, he's amazing. And inspiring and makes me very happy. And it is a good reminder that, like, yeah, when there's a whole universe of possibilities, not everything's a humanoid. Sometimes things are weird.
And there is precedent for this. I mean, this movie was made 4 years after Men in Black.
True.
Which had a similar,
you're
like,
right.
they go into like an agency and there's humans and non-humans and they're all
just
working together.
side by side. That would be, you know what? I think if Jet Li was a little bit more like Men in Black, I think it would have done a lot better.
Yeah. If the one was more like Men in Black.
No, if the actor Jet Li was more like Men in Black.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not talking about the movie. I'm saying him. Not even in this movie, but in
If the
his
man
whole
Jet
life.
Li, the one himself.
If Jet Li was more like the movie Men in Black, he would have made something of himself.
Yeah, if that movie just had one more I make this look good.
I mean, it probably would have done better at the time. If
for
it was
sure.
more like Men in
Yeah,
Black.
maybe,
Like,
yeah.
Just, I can say that and bet on it. I think
Like, I don't know what the financial situation of this film
it'd
was.
be interesting to know.
Probably had a decent budget for its time.
But yeah, who knows?
I don't. Other than that, other than like having agents at the Multiverse Authority,
Because
being
that makes a lot of sense. That's the way to fold them in.
yeah. Or or is it the plot cat? And specifically, is the plot cat also a multiverse hopping animal that is killing its other selves in other universes and has come to this universe for the same reason as Jet Li's character has?
Yes.
But like no one's tracking it because no one's thinking like cats can do this too.
So wait, so the anthropomorphic animal is an implied anthropomorphic animal in a different universe?
No.
Because plot cat looks
It's
like a
undercover.
regular plot
Here's
cat.
what happened. Here's what happened. Here's what
It's
happened.
undercover.
Here's what happened.
Yeah.
Here's what
Here's
happened.
Here's what
A multiverse authority person
Yeah.
killed a cat in another universe in the course of doing
Makes
their job.
sense, yeah.
Then they went to a different universe and they killed another cat accidentally. Turns out it was the same cat in another universe. Now all of those cats from that
stronger
particular line
We're
of cats
whoa.
are getting stronger and smarter.
And more like a person.
And so one of them like jumps into the wormhole with them, sees what's going on, and he can kind of comprehend enough to know that like something's up, follows them to their next place, finds its version of itself, and this cat is just doing what Jet Li's doing, but as a cat.
Or they just kill enough orange cats to make a Garfield in one of the universes.
And then that's
Knows
clearly
enough to
the
hate
ultimate-
Mondays.
Yeah. That's clearly the ultimate cat.
The one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one.
Cat Lee.
Cat.
It's right there. It's right there. I like that a lot. I think that's the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it actually just like it sort of adds a layer of, well, I mean, I may be so bold and say plausibility, or at least plot reason for there being an anthropomorphic animal.
Or plausibility. Anyway, sorry.
Or you're right though. I think you're right. I think plausibility is correct.
Yeah, possibility.
Yeah. After some thought,
After putting it through the blender in my brain,
I think you're right.
yeah. Because I don't know what function that would serve to the film,
Oh, none. I don't think it ever does.
but I would be extremely
Yeah.
excited for that story, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some movies that beg on their hands and knees for an anthropomorphic animal. The one is not that kind of
No.
movie.
No.
But if it was, I would have probably enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
Not even to speak to my opinion about the movie as it is. I think no matter what, objectively, it would have been more fun with an
Yes.
anthropomorphic animal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I think we can all agree on
It's not the fun, it's the one.
it.
That was their Bible. When they were like, oh, maybe I can make a little joke here. And the director was like,
Just taps the sign.
It's not the fun, it's the
not
one.
the fun, it's the one. Don't make me tap the
Don't
sign.
make me toast. Oh, fuck. All right, let's move on to another context.
Okay.
Pull a Peter Jackson and split this into 3 movies.
Pull a Peter Jackson and split this into 3.
This movie
Movies.
is so... And what sucks so hard is that we have made it a rule going on that we cannot stray from the film.
Correct.
We just have to stretch what's already there.
Yeah.
So we can't
because
do-
what would make this interesting is the stuff that already happened before the movie started.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
totally.
The stuff about him being a cop and then finding out that he could become stronger and then
Can't
that whole thing.
Yeah. But if it's
If
talked
if
about,
there
is that
was a-
allowed?
Yeah. It could is that enough to
Yeah.
stretch that into like a movie length flashback?
Instead of saying it, showing it.
You know what?
It's a movie.
You know what? If what he did with the Silmarillion and making the 3 Hobbit movies counts, we can count that.
He pulled it's in the name.
It's right in the name.
He's pulling a Peter Jackson.
Yeah, exactly.
He pulled a Peter Jackson and stretched the source content and added some stuff.
Yeah.
So I think our own rule is too generous to Peter Jackson.
It is definitely.
That's true.
It is.
So I think we can. I think we should still stay within the bounds of it and not, add whatever the hell we want.
Right.
But since it's mentioned multiple times,
that he used to be it's canon.
It's there.
And then we might be able to find out more about what made him the way he is, different. We could see a lot more variations.
What made him the way he is, the compelling multi-layered character that he plays in this movie.
But the many different versions of himself that he kills.
Yeah.
How did he take out the surfer?
See, that's in the movie too, and I think that we got.
Is it basically like a Hitman style thing where we get like a montage of him?
I think it has
doing
to be
clever, funny ways of killing people.
Especially because we are working with the source material. Jet Li is still our lead actor. It can't be much more than a montage because it's not going to be good. We can't make him do it much. So
guys, we got 3 movies we got to talk about. Here. We got 3 whole movies.
So I guess the first one.
This movie is less than an hour and a half long.
Here's what I think. I actually think the one mystery in this movie that was kind of interesting to me at first, because I had not seen this movie until tonight. Just to be clear, I missed it the first time it came around. It's so sad. I got it mixed up a lot with Cradle to the Grave.
Another Jet Li movie
with DMX, right?
DMX, right?
Yeah.
And did you get that mixed up with Equilibrium?
Yes, all the time.
And did you get that mixed up with War with Jet Li and Jason Statham?
No, I got it mixed up with The Matrix.
Oh.
Wait, because Equilibrium, my favorite review of the Equilibrium on the front cover of it says, "Forget The Matrix."
Yep. That's what made me want to watch it. And then I watched it and I was like, I still remember The Matrix.
I forgot The Matrix.
Every time I say that tagline, I'm like, I never will.
I'll never forget The Matrix.
I'll never forget it.
So I lost my train of thought. It's gone.
Oh, no.
It's gone forever.
Oh, no.
Oh, I remembered it. The mystery that I liked.
Yes.
So why is he killing these other versions of himself? I actually thought that was kind of compelling. It's like if you introduce a villain that's this one guy who's a scary version of a bunch of other guys that look like him that don't understand why he's there and he's killing all of them, that's kind of a compelling, if you make the multiverse cops into full humans and you see it from their perspective and they're like, there's this weird serial killer that's jumping from all these universes, killing all of the other hims. Why is he doing it? What's the deal? And then they start to learn he's getting more powerful and that's when they figure out that it's true that you get more powerful if you kill the other yous, because that isn't a known fact until this. I think that's kind of extrapolation. I don't know if that's true, but I think that could be a full movie.
Yeah.
If we see those little montages and we get to meet the wife of the one that becomes the protagonist of the one. The 1, the 1, 2, and the 1, 3, which is also fun. That's a real treat that we get to have. Is that the 1
part 1,
the 1 part 2,
and
the 1 part 2, and the 1 part 3, or the 1, the 2, and the 3, which would also be funny.
The 1, the 2, and the 3.
Either way, we can decide. But I think that could be a good first act. I think that could stand on its own, as well as this movie did, which is to say, it was
and I mean, because he's a cop, he's one of the Multiverse Authority people.
Mm-hmm.
And then he accidentally he kills a version of himself in another universe, and he realizes, I'm strong.
Right, and that's canon. That did happen. Yes, we can't change that.
So we can't change that.
No,
but maybe, And then he goes on this sort of rampage. But here's a question that I have, and this is not really related to this context, but if this is the first time this has happened, really, that someone has done this, why do they have an entire agency with a lot of technology and procedures devoted specifically to stopping multiverse crimes?
I wonder if the murder has never taken place before. That's my guess.
Maybe multiverse sports betting.
Yeah, right. Because as we said when we watched the movie, the same butterfly effect can happen at different points in the timeline, but you have to imagine that the same forces are at play. So perhaps you're I know that this is going to happen later in this universe, so I'm going to zip over there and get some money by betting on it. Get some money.
But then we also, but we also see that like we see that the presidential election turns out different in different multiverses.
Yeah.
So it's possible that prediction would be wrong.
True.
You'd go to another universe and you bet on something because it's like, this happened over in my universe, so it'll happen over here, and then it turns out it's something else.
And that actually that brings up a great multiverse crime that I just thought of, which is meddling to see if you can make a multiverse that you like more.
That's a good point.
Go to jump over to a different one, rig the fuck out of an election, and if you get caught, just zip back up to your little space thing and go to another multiverse and rig the election.
I think that might be actually their main function, is just stopping people from hopping to multiverses that they don't,
because you're just not supposed to.
That's true. They do say it's restricted.
They're just supposed to keep it on lockdown. I don't think they're for murder. I think they're just for stay in your homes.
They just stay. Don't
please,
go to the multiverse.
Please don't
do
leave.
it.
Just stay.
Please. Okay.
Don't.
So first movie is him discovering as a cop discovering he can do this killing version of himself. Does it end? When does the first one end and the second one start?
That's kind of a fun idea that he starts as the protagonist and then
he
sort of slowly becomes the villain.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool actually. That's kind of a neat Darth Vader shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. That's a good question. Where does it end?
Where does it end? Where does it end? I don't know why I did the fucking SNL announcer voice at the end. Where does it end?
The problem with this movie for me is that it all kind of felt like one idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it felt pretty contained.
Yeah, it was just kind of one thing.
So when I saw this context, I was like, fuck.
So what are some plot points in this movie? Let's start from the real basic.
That's a good point. Yes.
Let's just outline the shit out of it.
Yeah. Okay. So we've already established that because they talk about it enough, we're going to be able to make a movie where we see the setup for how this all happens.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have to see him either killing people or skip ahead to when he's already killed a bunch of them, something like that. We know that Delroy Lindo has been following for 2 years. He says that.
Oh, you're right.
And Jason Statham is his new partner. So seeing them start, Jason Statham coming onto the job, kind of learning in a Seven kind of way that there's this serial killer and this older cop is going to take him under his wing and show him how it's done.
It's just Seven.
But it turns out that it's his old partner, and so there's yeah, we got that sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
So the second one's maybe more of a police procedural. Where they're trying to stop him from committing all these murders, and they just keep failing because he just keeps being slippery and getting past them.
So slippery.
And then the third one basically would just be this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I think the third one is just
the action from this movie, because we've gotten all of the exposition out of the way.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit honestly, a little bit like the Lord of the Rings movies. Or the Hobbit movies. So it's very Peter Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
The third Hobbit movie is mostly a big fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Battle of the Five Armies.
And this could be as well. Yes, it's a Battle of the Five Armies. And this is a Battle of the One.
The Battle of the One
army of one.
Battle of the
Army
One
of
Ones.
One.
Battle of the Two Ones.
Battle of the Two Ones.
The Two Ones.
So I think the third is a fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think we set it up at the cliffhanger of the second of the one, the tooth, the one, the second, and then the one, the third is truly an hour and a half long. And I will say it has to be well choreographed. It will be a well choreographed fight scene. It will not be, no offense to the one, but a little offense to the one, a kind of shitty fight scene that doesn't really look very good.
It would be kind of fun to do like a 1917 style tracking action sequence where it's a chase. It's just a whole the whole thing is he gets there, he finds the other version of himself, the other version of himself sees what's happening, then he has to, there's a chase that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Then the cops, the multiverse cops, come. And so instead of doing all the different cutaways that we get in this movie, because it's more traditionally structured, more traditionally filmed, if we've already got the setup of all of the characters going into it,
all of what's going on.
we know his relationship with his wife. We know what the other universe version of him, his relationship is with her, because they have a relationship clearly.
I guess
enough of one for her to smuggle a bomb rat or bomb mouse. We keep saying rat. It's a little mouse.
Yeah, bomb ass mouse.
A bomb ass mouse. In her shoes.
Bam.
Yeah, exactly. So I think So I think that would have to be, that would be fun as like a third movie being very action. And obviously because it's Jet Li, we'd have to have a lot of action in the first two movies.
Yeah, there'd be plenty of action.
Oh yeah,
especially in
There's a lot of murder happening.
A lot of murder is happening.
Yeah.
But the difference being that the final act is way more of a showdown.
Yeah,
and less of scary man murdering other versions of himself.
Like all the confrontations between him and other people get more and more wireworky the more powerful that they get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they're getting more, the power level is
more
inherently ramping up.
Yeah,
it's true.
Which is awesome.
They're basically like a Dragon Ball.
At some point, maybe at some point in the second movie, there's a moment where one of the Jet Lis for the first time can fight back in a cool way.
Like he realizes
like he stops
that he's
one of
strong.
his punches, and everyone around is like, "Holy shit! Wait a
and
minute!"
then dies.
And they figure it out, and that guy dies for sure. Like,
He does.
Oh, no problem, no question. Easy. And
he's a dead
it's
man.
not sad. He just dies, and then everybody realizes that's our plan. We need to find like the next one and warn him and train him up, like because they give him a little bit of that. They're like, "Hey,
now
you can
that
do it. You're
is
strong too."
a different story than this, but it's a better
that's
story.
true. It's a better story.
Stop making it better.
I'm sorry.
It's a better. It's basically like Loki, where they go and find Loki,
Yeah.
and they're like, "There's another Loki
There's
out there.
another one.
We need
You
a
gotta
good
get him."
Loki to catch
Yeah.
a Loki.
Yeah, you gotta fight Loki with Loki.
You gotta fight Loki. You gotta find Loki to make Loki.
And he does make Loki with Loki.
Aw, he does. But yeah, I think that is a pretty good way to Peter Jackson the movie The One.
Yeah.
If you have to, which please don't.
Yeah.
You have to.
If-
the computer.
hey,
The computer did say we had to.
Hey, if somebody has a weird cell phone CD to your head, then split into 3
But
movies.
that, you know what? Canonically, can we say that that's what the textual computer looks like?
Yes, it looks like the little computers from The One, where it's a phone.
It is
and then
like
a CD
flip
comes
phone
out
that
of
has
the
like a
top,
CD,
and then
and
something
like
else
two little
comes out of the side
tinier,
of the CD.
two
Man,
little
what a
tinier
good
flip
idea
phones on
for
the side. Oh
computers.
my god, what an
They
insane!
called it. They called their shot, and that's exactly what phones look like now.
Yeah,
it's
that's
amazing
true.
how on they were.
Yeah.
That's true. That's I mean that's several years before the iPhone.
Yeah.
They were on it.
Yeah.
You can't spell one without on.
Well, thank you guys for listening to Contextual Deviants. We did it. We went through a bunch of critical context about The One.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you guys remember what we talked about?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
I think
do
we said,
Uh-huh.
what if it was made 20 years later or earlier? And we chose later. and we
chose
talked
later.
about it.
What if we split it into 3,
That
Peter Jackson style?
That's the one we
We
did.
literally just did.
Yeah,
because
hey,
I
no,
don't
that's
have
one of
anything
them.
else.
That's one of the 4, and it's fair to say
It's
it.
totally fair. Totally fair. We did. We did. Fuck.
We did talk about
We
whether
did fuck.
there could be an
We
anthropomorphic
did fuck.
animal
I cut
in
that
one
out,
of
but
them.
we did fuck.
I said
yes,
one.
we did an
I said one.
anthropomorphic
Listen,
animal.
I was saying
he was
one.
doing one. I'm
I
sorry.
was doing one. And
What's
the other one?
Fuck. What was the first one? What was the
What's
first one we
other
did?
One. What was the first one we did?
You guys.
We
just did
You guys.
Yeah, but we said a lot. There's a lot of ideas in my brain.
It's
right
true.
now,
We
it's
threw a lot of ideas.
It's hard to
around.
know. I think it was about who the Zodiac Killer was.
The Zodiac
was,
Killer. Yes.
yeah.
I think so. I think that's what it
How
was.
could I forget?
I'm pretty sure. Honestly, it's been a while.
What an absolutely wild ride we've been on this
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't think that we thank you for listening if you actually listen to the podcast.
We do. I mean, listen, we are always grateful to have anyone who would take any time to listen to this.
That's right,
for
we do.
sure.
Because we are having a blast and a half, but it's all for you, the listeners. We're doing this all for you. It's certainly not for us.
Definitely not
It's
just for us.
definitely not just for us. It has been way too long since we've been able to do this. I am so excited that we were able to get together again and make one of these. I always love getting together with you boys and being able to make some sillies with you on record. In the meantime, as we're leading to the end here, Matthew, do you have anything you would like to plug?
Just a little media rec. I feel like anybody that's going to be listening back to this, hi us in the future. Watch Poker Face.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, is that the one with the lady?
Natasha Lyonne. Yeah,
that's
it's the
one
Ryan
with the
Johnson,
lady.
Natasha Lyonne, like
Aw.
mystery series,
Yeah.
and he wrote it specifically, like in partnership with her, like with her in mind. Like the series is built around Natasha Lyonne's whole thing.
Wow.
And it's wonderful.
Sweet.
I've only watched the first 2 so far. There's 4 released, and then it's going to be weekly from here on out.
Cool.
But man, it rules.
Peacock, huh?
Poker Face on the Peacock.
Maybe I'm gonna have to peacock it up.
There's some legit good stuff on there.
Yeah, I know.
I'm surprised, and they keep adding
more. This
more.
might be the thing that sells me because that's like exactly.
I mean, Tar's on there now.
You know how much I love
Tarzan's not on there.
I truly thought you were mispronouncing Tarzan.
Tarzan.
You know, Tarzan's on there. I don't get this joke. I don't and it's not. It's not on there.
No.
There's no Tarzan on there.
The one? What do you mean? The one? Tar?
Also, The Resort on Peacock is really worth checking out. You can cut that part from the recommendation, but just for you when you get to that.
Oh, thanks. This one's just for David.
It's just for David.
Just for David. David, do you have anything you would like to plug?
I think so. You should get out there and go on a little winter scamper. Just run around. Christian, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Oh, well, that was all that. Okay, cool.
It's cold.
Winter scamper. I said it.
Like the penguin scamper?
Yeah, just get out there.
Get out there like a little...
Just run around.
Like scamper the penguin?
David, the last time I did a winter scamper, I broke a rib.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Maybe
what the fuck, David?
How insensitive of you.
You're right.
I'm not. I'm wrong. I'm wrong about so many things.
Christian, your 2022 playlist is done.
That's true.
And it's good. And I'm almost
thank
finished
you.
listening to it. And the accompanying blog is also good because there's some good little track notes and stuff in there. And it's like a good essay. But that is what you should plug for yourself. So I'm going to plug Christian plugging his 2022 playlist. So now,
thank you.
Christian, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Well, that's very sweet of you. Yes, my best of 2022 playlists on Spotify and Tidal. So check that out. Well, thank you for asking. I personally would like to recommend, I've been reading, I just finished the second book in the Hyperion series by Dan Simmons. I decided I wanted to try some like real hard sci-fi and just, give it a go. And at first it was a little slow going. I wasn't sure how I was feeling about it, but at a certain point it sort of clicked with me in the first book, just sort of this sort of conceptual structure of it being like the Canterbury Tales, like all these different people going on a literal pilgrimage and each one of them telling their stories of why they're there, and each story is written in a different way. So it's sort of like for folks who are like fans of Cloud Atlas, you get sort of like different literary styles, one that's like a diary and one that's like a detective thriller and one that's like a history, and awesome. Sort of got these interesting and they've all these puzzle pieces sort of start fitting together to create this sort of interesting mystery and a really interesting way of structuring the world. And that's the first book. And then it ends and I'm like, that's fucking it? You're not going to tell me what happened after that? And so I was like, fuck, I got to get the second fucking book. And so now I finished the second book and there's 2 more.
It is how they get you.
See, only the first one's fee.
But I got to say, what I like,
you have to buy the first one too.
What I like the most about it is that it's very stylistically diverse, not just in terms of its writing, but I think its influences are really interesting. It's got a lot of poetry in it, like a lot of actual poetry in it, but it draws a lot of inspiration from like 18th and 19th century English poetry and filters that into this sci-fi world.
No idea.
Like there's like the capital city on the planet of Hyperion is the city of poets. It's called Keats, and it's named after John Keats because the guy who founded the city was just a big fan of his poetry.
That's sort of rules.
And one of the one of the pilgrims is like a poet who like his whole story is like him like being a poet and learning to whatever.
Welcome to Hyperion Deviants.
That's right.
Dude, I am so much more intrigued than I was before. Because I'd only seen the cover. It'd been like, oh yeah, it's a fantasy guy at a city. And
it's like it's some sci-fi shit, but it also has like a lot of weird like
it sounds pretty cool.
Humanistic kind of poetic influences, which is kind of cool. Anyway, that was a very long way of saying like check out Hyperion.
Don't judge a book by its cover or premise.
Don't judge a book by its cover, premise, or first like 40 pages
or content. Honestly, you know what? Don't judge a book.
Don't judge books.
Don't stop it.
Don't stop.
They're not judging you, so don't judge them.
Oh my god! I just realized I've been mishearing when people say don't judge a book by its cover. What they mean is don't judge a book. Period. and then purchase a poster of the cover. So you can
Buy
hang it on
its
your wall.
cover.
Buy its cover.
I thought you were going to say, don't judge a book when you're standing close to it because it can hear you.
Oh yeah, like near its cover. Yeah, that's actually a great point. It's like, hey, don't say that out loud. The book's right there. That's
The
also
cover
true.
is where it hears from.
Yeah, it hears from the cover. Oh my god.
Just don't judge a book by its cover.
Just shh, don't
They'll
judge it.
fucking
Man.
kill you.
There's a lot of really.
My books just start crawling off the shelves like we heard what you said.
Like do the open close, kind of like scooching across the
Oh, yeah, that's so cute.
Little
I love
snails,
that.
yeah.
I want this now. I want to judge a book by its cover just to see.
Just to see what it does.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Folks, thank you so much for listening. We have been Contextual Deviants. We would take a bow, but you wouldn't be able to see it because it's a podcast, and that's how that works.
My back's
We will
bad.
be back again sometime, hopefully. And in the meantime, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to ask the question that is my eternal torment. David, did you have any final thoughts you'd like to leave us with?
Why can't an oxygen discriminate?
Thank you for listening to Contextual Deviance. You can find more information about us online at our website, contextualdeviance.wordpress.com. You can tweet at us at textdeviance. You can email us at contextualdeviance@gmail.com. Thanks to Minneapolis' own The Bad Man for the use of their song Gun Tonic off the album Ain't Clean. This has been Contextual Deviance. My name is Christian Hagen, and have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Wait, Davey.
Who's that?
Who's it? It's me, Porco Rosso.
Okay.
That's what he sounds like. I'd rather be a pig than a fascist.
I mean, yeah, man. Thanks, Porco. Welcome.
You're welcome.
You sound an awful lot like Prankly Simpson.
Blankly Simpsons.
Is this another prank?
Yeah.
Prankly, you got us
I
again.
got you. I'm not Porco Rosso at all.
Now
I
hang
can
out
fly
back
a
in your
plane.
go back into David's closet, please.
No way. I'm in an aircraft. Near him.